Very exciting conversation, and that is in relation to agroecology. And I'll be speaking to Dr. David Amudavi, who is the Executive Director for BioVision Africa. He now joins us live here in studio. And of course, one of the big conversations right now, just after the budget, Daktari, is food security. And how are we using technology really to be able to push Kenya to the next frontier?
Thank you, Agina. It's a pleasure again to come to KTN and talk about agroecology and its contribution towards food security, which is one of our big four agenda that our head of state and his government are spearheading. Technology in Kenya, and particularly agriculture technology, hasn't been utilized fully. I think there's quite a lot that has been done by research, and in particular by our own researchers, but quite a lot is still on the shelves, is still unused. And this is because we seem not to have a very good system of getting these technologies go down to the farmers to use. And I think it's important that we invest a bit more rather than leaving this to the private sector alone, and particularly the non-government organizations. The government still has a role to play. Quite a huge wide fabric of extension across the country could be very helpful in ensuring that agricultural technology and innovations really get to the farmers so that we can address the issue of food security and more so safe food for everyone.
And looking at this particular topic of agroecology, break it down for us. How is it important to the ordinary farmer out there to understand the impact technology can have?
Agroecology is a very important discipline, and it's also a practice. It is a practice that informs the farmer and all those that are concerned in supporting the agricultural sector and food systems to be one concerned about the natural resources that we are using. Are we using our resources to produce safe and sufficient food for us while keeping the life support systems of the soils safe? Are we also producing while ensuring that our environment is safe? And I think agroecology provides technologies that are friendly to the environment, that can also increase productivity, and more so help us to produce food that is safe and nutritious for everyone. Agroecology also is important in the area of diversifying the kinds of foods that we produce. In most cases, when people tend to depend on just one type of a crop, or what we call monoculture, that might not be very sufficient. And with agroecology, we emphasize the production of a diverse range of crops. And when farmers produce a diverse range of crops, what that means is that families and farm households are assured of food at all the times, because you have food maturing at different times for home consumption, as well as for those who are able to sell it to the market, and as well for those who are able to get more to the domestic and global markets as well. So agroecology, in terms of supporting production, and especially in a diverse range of products and produce, is really the key to improving our food security and sustaining it as we meet our consumption needs today, and as well as taking care of the resources that are supposed to be for our future generations.
Interesting. And as we come to the end of this conversation, looking at where Kenya is today, there is not enough uptake of agroecology. If you are to look around, what do we need to do differently to have more people consider agroecology so that they have better yields, and we can also sort out our issues of food insecurity?
Exactly, and that is the whole purpose of the conference we are having tomorrow, for 3 days up to Friday. We want to demonstrate how agroecology is important by sharing some of the successful cases, some of the successful examples of food production that have been based on agroecological principles and practices. We also want to show some of the very successful examples that have shown how agroecology can also contribute to better markets, right from local markets to international markets. This is looking at what foods have been produced for domestic consumption as well as for sale. We'll also be showing in this conference some of the technologies that are very novel, that help control some of the major constraints to our food production in this country. So the conference we are having tomorrow is a conference of a very important conversation that brings together scientists, practitioners, farmers, academia, and all those that are very central to ensuring that we have truly sustainable agriculture food systems.
All right.
I believe with this conference, we'll make a big headway for that conversation to start in this country in East Africa and to the whole of this continent.
Interesting. Great place to end the interview. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. It's been a
We
pleasure
look
to have you.
forward to seeing solid outcomes out of this conference.
Exactly, and I'll be very happy to come back and share some of the insights and the way forward following this conference.
Much appreciated.
Thank you very much.
Well, we'll be talking about agroecology and the impact it has really on farmers as well as the upcoming conference. Do make a date and, of course, take part in this very important discussion. Well, we want to go on a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll be telling you more on the next frontier, where today we are looking at a very interesting aspect around food security as well. And of course, the latest report by Site on Investments that shows that the banking sector has grown by 12.8%. All this after this quick break.